Most people know Nikola Tesla as one of the world's greatest inventors. His work helped transform how we generate and use electricity, and we can see the effects of that today in things like electric vehicles and the hydroelectric power system that's at Niagara Falls. What some people might not know about Nikola Tesla is that he may have had obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD. Now, I say may because we can't just retroactively diagnose him. He's not alive to take these clinical examinations, so we can't know for sure. But in his autobiography, Tesla described experiences that are fitting with what we see in symptoms of OCD. For example, he writes about having severe aversions. He says that he would not touch another person's hair, even at gunpoint. He also described having extreme sensory sensitivity to the point where he could hear things that other people could not, like a fly landing on a table or a clock ticking multiple rooms away. And he describes how this would be really disruptive because it was extremely overwhelming for him to be constantly under this barrage of sensory information. Today, people will often say things like, oh, I'm so OCD, and what they are really referring to is a preference for being organized or liking things a certain way, but OCD is much more than just a preference for cleanliness or order. For example, Tesla would repeat the same task for hours at a time sometimes because he was extremely compelled to repeat tasks in multiples of 3, even if it took hours. So for example, every day, regardless of what the weather was like, he would go for a swim, and that swim had to be 27 laps. He reported that he could only enjoy meals if he carefully calculated the volume of every cup and plate and piece of food on his table, and he felt that he needed to count how many steps he was taking when he would take a walk. Now, despite these challenges that he faced, when we think of Tesla, we think about his amazing inventions and creativity. We don't really think about his OCD. And that's because mental health conditions don't define a person or what they're capable of. Tesla was an extraordinary inventor, and people living with OCD today are also capable of extraordinary things. But OCD can also be deeply challenging. Tesla, in his autobiography, talks about all the difficulties that he experienced with these various symptoms. A diagnosis does not define you, but with the right support and treatment, people with OCD can thrive.